We want to move to being a faster, more nimble company. The semiconductor and the aerospace and defense industries are our main customer base. This is a very competitive industry. We need to be as lean and fluid as we can be in our processes. I'm John Newman. I'm the co-founder and CFO of Athena Manufacturing. It's a 21-year-old machining and fabrication company in Austin, Texas. We have 240 employees and about 80,000 square feet of manufacturing space. Oftentimes, the earliest quote gets the work. Paperless parts will allow us to be the first to present a bid to our customer. It is allowing us to be more efficient. We use Made to Manage ERP, and we wanted to be able to move the quoted router and BOM automatically from paperless parts into Made to Manage so that we're not recreating the work of building the BOM and building the router once we won the work. We're able to cut out some of the work we were doing using an Excel spreadsheet that we could not upload into the ERP system. There's also a lot of places in paperless where our highly skilled quoters can identify areas that we need to be very careful on as we design the process to build the part.
I couldn't imagine doing my job without paperless parts. I get a whole lot more accurate quotes. Volume is the big deal for me. I get a lot more done as accurately as I did before. My other programs, I was doing just as much detail. It just took me way longer to get that detail. So it was a lot more tempting to skip areas, right? It's a lot more tempting to go ahead and say those minimums are going to work fine, when what I really need to do is open it up and work on it. With paperless, it does that work automatically. It's a very customizable and user-friendly system. It's tempting to say endlessly customizable. There's a lot that you can do. When paperless runs a model, it will spit out this is how many holes you have, this is what size they are, this is how many pieces of hardware you have. And then with P3L, you can take that data, look for anything that says this type of hardware I want to do this thing with. You can use that data out of the model to do virtually anything. For instance, my machining program will take the size of the hole and take the type of material and take the machine that it's actually running on and determine how long that hole is going to take. That's a pretty neat feature for paperless that I didn't have in another software. Before paperless, it took me maybe 15 to 20 minutes to quote a really simple part, and now in paperless, provided we have a model, it can be done in a few seconds. The speed at which I can see a rough draft is almost instant. By the time it gets to me, the quote's already built, and I just go through and edit it. From there, I can go through and determine, oh, that's not going to work. I may have noticed something here, or I know from experience that this is not going to work. Paperless helps me quote very quickly. It surprised me how fast I can get an answer. The sheer amount of quotes that I go through now is incomparable. I quote a much larger volume now. I was maybe getting 60 to 70 quotes done in a week, and now I can do 200 or 300, no problem. It allows me to do a whole lot more. I get to concentrate on the work that matters most to my job. I don't do as much data entry as I did before. I don't repeat the same work multiple times. Paperless really takes care of that repetition. They can pick up on the things that you do every time. If every single time you need to grab this piece of data and put it in this spot, paperless will do that for you. My job would be much more difficult without paperless parts. I've worked with other programs and used combinations of other programs to get the job done, and it takes way too long. Now that I've experienced paperless and the speed that I can get the work done, I couldn't go back.
I would say the number one difficulty in growing at the pace that we have grown is the employment. It's very, very thin in Austin, Texas. We've got 1 million tech companies that have opened up here. That makes the labor market really tight. I would not have imagined it to be possible for us to train somebody that was completely unskilled. We would need someone that's had experience on the floor, knows how to read a blueprint very well, knows what these processes are, what they mean, how it affects the part. It would take 5 years of floor experience and a couple of years in the office, maybe somebody that's been in the engineering or the methods planning fields. We had a young man that was looking for a career, so I gave him a shot in our quotations department. He had been previously in culinary school, so no manufacturing experience whatsoever, but a very sharp young man. the ease of use and framework that paperless provides. He was able to be processing quotes for us in 1 or 2 months. Most of those were repeats. He could check his work on what we'd done before, but now he's 6 to 8 months later, he turned out to be so successful in quoting that we turned him loose as a quoter. Paperless parts helped us bridge that skills gap. Those DFM warnings can save you, if you listen to them, tens of thousands of dollars. We had a part that cost us over $100,000 because we missed an EDM step. We put that part through paperless and it caught it. That's what makes it such a benefit for inexperienced people doing quoting, is because paperless has the ability to put the bumpers up. You're not going to make a huge mistake. Our quoting before was Excel spreadsheets and word of mouth, and this is over here and you need to take a look at that, and we didn't have a good solid database to say, here's our win-loss, here's how we're doing with this customer, this is the margin that they are accepting right now, so we need to stay with that, and paperless has really helped us get that level of detail in our quotes. It makes the organization much more efficient. Paperless parts helps process those quotes, helps find those quotes. I mean, it's not the wild goose chase of where's that print and I can't find this model, and is this one that's the most up to date, or is there another one? Paperless does a great job organizing all of that, so we're not constantly on the hunt. We put in the model and it gives us a path to manufacture that part. I would say that it's not pinpoint perfect, but it's really close, and you save 90% of the time that you would have been keying in, okay, routing step 1, take it to the saw. Routing step 2, it's going to be on the mill. It needs to go to deburr. That's all there. It automatically does it, gives you a good estimation of what the time is. You still need to review it and make sure that we're not making a contract with a customer that's not properly vetted, but I don't know how you can be more efficient than that. If I were to try and do my job without paperless, the amount of searching and paperwork pushing, follow-up and headaches that I would have to go through would be just short of unbearable. My take, the most important thing that people should know about paperless parts is that you're going to get amazing service. Their customer service, follow through and follow up is better than any organization I've ever worked with.
I haven't found any quoting software that's like paperless. I think that anybody could do it. It's not difficult. If you're getting paperless parts, you can expect a lot of support to help you along the way. Support for paperless is pretty stellar.
The team at Paperless Parts has been very helpful and energetic and willing to change and make the system whatever we want it to be. And they've been very adaptable to the different things that I, as an owner, have wanted out of the software. So really couldn't find a better customer service experience than we've had with Paperless Parts.
If you're considering paperless parts and you have an environment where you need to respond quickly to your customers and are hungry for business, it's a no-brainer. They'll take great care of you. They'll make sure that you have all the tools you need to do your job more quickly, respond to your customers more consistently and with more accurate information.
It's really good software.